What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be responding to a message from a subscriber. To keep things anonymous, I'm going to refer to him as David. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So he messaged me on Instagram and he says, "Hey Jay, big fan of the content. So I've been in a relationship for about 2 years. The situation was very similar to your last video about prioritizing women. Anyways, friends and family always tell me that I need to talk to women again, but I have no desire to get to know someone intimately again. My question is, do you honestly think I should get back on the horse and meet people or thrive by myself?" Now I went on to ask for some more information, that way I could better answer his question. So I went on to respond with, "I would need to know a bit more information to give you the best response, such as your age and whether or not you actually feel compelled to start dating again, or is it just a push from friends and family? I would also like to know if you're enjoying the single life or not. And do you have something greater you're pursuing, such as your purpose or passion? You don't have to tell me what it is, just whether or not you have it." David goes on to give me a bit more information about his situation. He responds with, "Basically, I'm 23, live in Panama City, Florida, and I've really wanted to have my one person. I've been that guy that sleeps around with a bunch of women, but I've always just wanted the one girl I can come home to and rely on. But as of lately, that desire has gone away. I'm in the military, and since this breakup, I've been focusing more on what I need to do to rank up. I was in a car accident last year and it messed me up financially. My car was just paid off and I worked hard to do it, only for it to get totaled a couple of months later. But now I have a newer, better car and I'm loving it." That's good to hear. "I'm doing great financially now, and I feel like when I was in pieces and emotional over my breakup, my friends and family wanted me to focus on myself. But now that I'm happy by myself, their advice is the opposite, to go meet women. Like I said, I've always wanted to have my one girl, but lately I just don't think it's worth it. Am I wrong?" Well, David, I want to thank you for sending in your question. I'm going to give you the best response that I possibly can. So first off, I went ahead and I asked you, was there anything outside of women that you're pursuing in life? Any greater calling, purpose, something like that? And there's a reason why I asked you that. It's because I believe every man should have a purpose and a sense of direction before he starts engaging with women. Because referring back to my last video where I spoke about men prioritizing women, it tends to be the case that when a man lacks a sense of direction, lacks any purpose or ambition, that the woman who comes into his life tends to take that place, and he tends to prioritize her. She becomes his whole purpose for living, and that ends up ending horribly wrong, which is something you mentioned happened in your previous relationship. So I wanted to make sure that you had something solid outside of dating and relationships that you're actually pursuing. And you said that you do. You said that you're in the military and you're trying to level up and go up rank, which is really good. So that checks that box. So you have something greater that you're striving towards that is, higher up on the importance level than women. So that's good. However, there's also the issue of you being in the military. Now, I'm not sure you're aware of this, David, but being in the military is not the best place for dating. In fact, it's a horrible place to be dating, because when you are deployed and your girl is back home, these tend to be situations where infidelity is just rampant. All right? There's been plenty of documented cases, plenty of horror stories all over the internet, all over Reddit, of military men telling their story about how their girlfriend or their wife was back home sleeping around with the entire town. They go back home after deployment to only find that their wife or girlfriend was sleeping with their best friend or pregnant by some other guy's kid. This is very common. It happens to so many military guys, and this is why if you're in the military and you're deployed, I highly encourage you to not date any girl seriously until you're back home and you're in a situation where you can actually date her, right? The long distance thing, it sounds nice, it sounds sweet, but there's possibilities and probabilities. And as men, we got to go off of probability. And the probability of that working out and your girl being loyal to you the entire time you're deployed is extremely low. 9 times out of 10, she's going to be sleeping around with guys behind your back. So I wouldn't recommend you date during that period of time. Now, at the end of your message, you were questioning whether or not it was worth it for you to get back out there and start dating again. Now, that's a difficult question to answer because whether it's worth it or not is going to come down to you as an individual and ultimately what you want out of life. Now, you mentioned that you always wanted to have that one girl, that serious relationship. Now, if that's something that you've thought about and you've realized that you can't live without, that somehow you would feel unfulfilled in life if you didn't have that one serious relationship, then I would say that it's probably worth it to continue pursuing that, despite how difficult it is. However, if it's something that you've looked deeper within yourself and you found that, yeah, really isn't worth it and it's something I can live without, then perhaps it's not worth engaging in it. Because honestly, as I'm sure you're aware, seeing as though you watch my channel, and I'm sure you watch other people's channels as well, the dating scene as of right now is not great. I mean, you live in Florida, I live in Florida. We know the type of chicks who are running around here, and we know what tends to happen in these relationships. It's not the best dating scene right now for anybody. But if it's something that you truly desire and you can't live without, then I would say that is probably something to continue pursuing. For example, in my current situation, I'm very aware of the toxic dating culture that exists right now. And even so, I'm still pursuing a serious relationship. I'm also very aware of the risks. I've seen all the horror stories of men still pursuing relationships and marriages and how that ends horribly for them. And even so, with those things in mind, I'm moving wisely to try to avoid those pitfalls, but I'm still pursuing a serious relationship because I do want a wife, I do want a family, and I want that serious relationship and I want that legacy. Now, will that change in the future? I don't know. But I'm giving it time because it's something I still desire. So it's all about what you want and whether or not it's worth it to you, but keep the risks in mind. And if the rewards outweigh the risks, then I would go ahead and pursue that. But if they don't, from your perspective, it's probably not worth it. Now let's assume for a second that you're not in the military and you're not deployed and you're in a situation where you can actually date a girl. Well, you mentioned that you're the kind of guy who has slept around in the past and has always had multiple chicks, but you've always desired to have that one girl. And a lot of guys desire that, so that's completely normal. But you also said that you don't feel compelled, at least right now, don't feel the drive to get back out there and start dating again. And well, David, there's your answer right there. You see, you need to do what feels right to you in your timing. You're saying that your friends and your family are encouraging you to get back out there now that you're feeling, like yourself again and you're happy again. And they're telling you to go back out there and start dating. Well, here's the thing. If you are saying that you don't feel compelled to do so, but your family's telling you that you should, let's say you get back out there and do it. You start dating again and it goes horribly wrong. You're going to be pissed off at yourself and you're going to be pissed off at your family for encouraging you to do something that you didn't want to do in the first place. And here you are now going through this emotional turmoil again because you did something you didn't want to do. So here's the thing. You need to move in your own timing. Now, I went through something similar to your situation where I went through a horrible breakup and it really messed me up. It really brought me to rock bottom emotionally. And I went through about a year of just focusing on myself, just leveling up financially, physically. And during that time, I had my friends and family, especially my family, talking about, hey, when are we going to get grandkids? You guys need to go out there and start dating, find somebody. It's about that time for you to start settling down. And that was the last thing on planet Earth I wanted to do at the time. I didn't feel like I wanted to do it. I didn't want to have anything to do with relationships. And even after I recovered and I was happy again, I still didn't want to date and have anything to do with girls in a serious capacity because it was like, I'm finally happy again after such a long time. I just want to enjoy this. I just want to enjoy the peace. I just want to enjoy, my mental state being good. There's nobody I have to worry about or check up on, and I don't have to think about any emotional situations other than my own, and I was just basking in that and just enjoying it. So even then, after I was feeling good, I still didn't want to date anybody. And it wasn't till about a year and a half after that I actually sat with myself one day and I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready. I think I'm good now. I think I'm good. And I'm telling you, one day that's going to happen for you. Right now, you don't feel compelled. You don't want to do it. But one day, you're going to wake up And that's going to change. That's going to be different. And whenever that day comes, that's when you get back out there and start dating. Don't let anybody rush you or try to push you into something you're not ready to do. If you're enjoying being single and you're enjoying the peace that comes after that healing period of a relationship, man, stay there, bask in it, man, and really just soak it in. There's really so much to enjoy about being single. Now, I know you want to have that one girl, and that time will come. And also the time will come when you feel compelled to actually get back out there, right? One day you're going to wake up and you're going to feel ready. And until that day comes, don't rush it. You don't need to push for it. You don't need to try to, build up the effort that isn't there and try to force yourself to start doing something you don't really want to do. Because if you force yourself to do it, you get back out there, it turns out to not play out the way you wanted it to, you're going to be pissed off at yourself for ruining the peace and the happiness that you found thus far. So take your time, wait till you're out of the military, that's my advice, and wait until that day where you can honestly say to yourself, you know what, I'm ready to start dating again. And until that day comes, focus on yourself, continue to level up, try to level up in the military, go up rank, save more money, and yeah, just enjoy the life, man. Enjoy the single life, because there's a lot to enjoy. Well, David, I hope that answers your question, and I wish you all the best, man. Enjoy the single life, and thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for your service, and stay safe out there. Well, that's all for this video, but guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and add me on Instagram at @JRandall_. Go ahead and add me there and send me your questions, and just like this, I'll respond to them via video. And until next time, guys, take it easy.